The sound of metal scraping against dirt yanked me out of sleep before the sun had even bothered to show up. You ever have one of those mornings where you know, deep in your bones, the universe has just decided today is going to be stupid? That was me, barefoot in flannel, peeking through my blinds, clutching a mug that read "World's Okayest Neighbor." And what do I see? Two women, grown adults, mind you, in sun hats and matching leopard print leggings, digging a trench straight through my front yard like it's the opening act of a new season of Suburban Gladiators. Not even 5 minutes into my day, and my lawn looked like a set from Saving Private Ryan. At first, I thought maybe it's raccoons. Then I thought, no, it's worse. It's the Karen sisters. Everyone on our block knows them. Cheryl and Lorna, our self-appointed HOA royalty. Cheryl, the president with a handshake colder than my fridge, and Lorna, director of aesthetic pathways, yes, really, who'd once find a neighbor $50 for having the wrong shade of pink on a flamingo. These two, hacking at my grass with a garden spade, laying down construction cones made from spray-painted wine bottles, and waving at me with this look like, "Aren't you lucky?" I just stood there, coffee halfway to my mouth, brain trying to reboot. I finally step out, calm on the outside, but my left eye's doing this involuntary twitch thing, and ask, "Hey, what's going on here?" Cheryl doesn't even pause. Just keeps digging, and over her shoulder goes, "Improving the neighborhood, sweetheart. People need a shortcut to the dog park. This saves, 15 steps? We're calling it Karen's Trail." Lorna, all chipper, chimes in, "It's for the community. You should feel grateful you're part of the solution. Grateful for them turning my yard into the Oregon Trail." Now, here's the wild part. They weren't kidding. Cheryl sets down her spade, sighs, and goes, "Your property? Please. This is a shared buffer zone. HOA newsletter, page 6, the one with the banana bread recipe." I say, "You mean the recipe under the announcement about trench warfare in my yard?" She smirks. "Exactly. If it bothers you, file a complaint. But we already have verbal approval." "From who?" I ask, and Cheryl points at herself, me, and Lorna, and her. I swear for a split second, I wondered if I was in some kind of hidden camera prank. I did what any sane person would do, snapped photos, documented the improvement, and told them I'd be contacting the city. Cheryl shrugs. "Do what you gotta do, but this trail's going to be a hit." The way she said it stuck with me all day, like I should be proud my yard was the new neighborhood theme park. Turns out, the Karens have been hyping this shortcut for weeks, whispering about community connection and property values. Nobody realized it meant trespassing through my hydrangeas. Some folks thought they'd just add benches. Others, too scared to cross Cheryl. She once fined a woman for leaving a beach towel on her porch, just nodded and hoped it would pass. That's how it goes, right? People use community as a shield, and pretty soon, it's just code for let us do whatever we want. That afternoon, a yellow slip lands in my mailbox, a $200 fine for obstruction of community flow. I laughed, like I'm the Hoover Dam. But it hit me. These two were using the HOA as a weapon. Bending the rules, inventing new ones, and unless someone stood up, they just keep digging, literally and figuratively. The next morning, it's escalated. The trench is longer. There's a wheelbarrow now, a Bluetooth speaker blaring, Eye of the Tiger, and Lorna's filming herself like a DIY influencer. Welcome to day 2 of Karen's Trail. Thanks to Cheryl for hand-picking the gravel. Gravel? These maniacs are planning to pave it. I call the city. The code enforcement guy actually laughs and says, "Let me guess, HOA ladies with too much time?" "Buddy," I reply, "you have no idea." That afternoon, I get a mysterious note slipped under my door. Jim, the neighbor, writes, "They're pouring stone by Friday." You didn't hear this from me. He's out front, watering his lawn, looking innocent. By now, the Karens are inviting everyone to try out the trail. Neighbors, kids, dogs, trampling what used to be the pride of my block. Every time I confront Cheryl and Lorna, they smile and call me anti-community. Cheryl actually plants a little flag in my yard that says, "Freedom to roam." My life has become a satirical commercial for antidepressants. Thursday arrives, and it's chaos. Kids are running through like it's field day. Lorna's handing out popsicles. My yard is wrecked. I look out and realize the cavalry isn't coming. Not the city. Not the HOA. They're the HOA. And logic won't work with the Karens. So I call Nate, a buddy of mine who does concrete. How soon can you get a truck out here? I ask. What are you pouring? He says. Revenge, I tell him. About 5 inches thick. He laughs. Midnight work? Perfect, I say. Sun goes down. The trench now scars the entire width of my lawn. But that's fine because tonight it gets a makeover. I done my homework, called an illegal permit, marked the property lines, so whatever I do is above board. Nate rolls up with a mixer called Big Bertha, 2 guys, and enough halogen lights to launch a NASA mission. The plan: fill the trench, pro-grade, complete with drainage, edge work, high-friction surface, and most importantly, stamped at the entrance, private property, and public access. All perfectly legal, all on my side of the line. Should we leave room for the flamingos? Nate jokes. Toss him in the mixer, I tell him. Lechem live onwas gravel. His crew rips up the tacky decorations, tosses them in the trash. I feel this rush, not just payback, but the relief of taking control back. The whole time, I'm making sure every inch is documented. For the city, for the HOA, and just for my own sanity. For good measure, I had a secret. In 3 places under the top layer, I set thin rubber rods. If anyone walks on the path while it's curing, their footprints will sink in, like wet cement justice. By 3 a.m., we're done. I angle my new mailbox camera right at the path. Nate pats me on the back. First time I've poured poetic justice. I grin. You have no idea how poetic it's about to get. Sunrise. The Karens emerge in bathrobes, slippers, in full outrage mode. Cheryl tries to step onto the path. Her foot sinks in, leaves a perfect impression. Lorna follows, slips, and drops her garden rake smack in the middle. Their voices carry through the glass, blaming each other, arguing about whether cement dries from the top down or bottom up. I sip coffee and watch on my camera. Karma in real time. Later, Cheryl storms over, all legalese and finger-wagging. This is obstruction. The HOA will hear about this. I just say, that's what I told you 3 days ago. She tries. The path connects important parts of the neighborhood. It's for the greater good. I motion to the sign. Then people can walk around. My yard is not a sidewalk. Also, you owe me for damaging the cement this morning. Check the camera. She pales. You recorded us? Everything, including the footprints and the rake. I don't need to yell. The facts do it for me. By noon, I upload the video, no comment, just the footage, to the neighborhood thread titled Property Restoration Progress. Reactions pour in. Some laugh, some cheer, a few stay silent. But the smirks I see from passing neighbors, they're gold. For the first time, Cheryl and Lorna aren't in control. Their shortcuts closed, and they're the ones who left their mark, literally. Of course, they try to fight back. A Comic Sans letter shows up, accusing me of malicious obstruction and emotional damage. Cheryl threatens community court. Lorna limps past my house for a week, muttering about hazardous cement. The HOA Facebook page lights up. Blurry photos of the new path, posts about hostile neighbors and sidewalk bullies. But most comments are just neighbors finally venting. Safer than the muddy trench, one says. Maybe you should just leave him alone, another adds. It escalates, as these things do. One day I get a letter, real attorney this time, or someone playing one, claims I'm impeding civil liberty of walk space. I call Melanie, my actual lawyer, who nearly dies laughing. Let's send a sharp, polite response, she says. Let's win it beautifully. I focus on making the walkway a masterpiece. Solar lights, flower beds, a bench. It's not just a sidewalk now, it's art and a message. I'm not backing down. But then comes a twist I didn't see coming. A package arrives, anonymous. Inside, a photo of me pouring cement at night, snapped from across the street. No note, just proof someone was watching, someone else who saw the whole thing unfold. Jim? Maybe. Or maybe another silent supporter, tired of the Karen rain. Now, the path isn't just a slab of concrete. It's a line in the sand, a neighborhood event. The Karens may have started it, but everyone's watching how it ends. Only, Cheryl and Lorna don't know when to quit. They disappear a few days, and suddenly, a new violation notice appears on my mailbox, incompatible with neighborhood aesthetics. They've made up a rule, visual harmony clause. It does now, Lorna says, waving her tablet like a scepter. So I walk right into the HOA office, just a glorified closet above the bakery, slam my city permit on the table, and say, "This trumps your fake rule. Keep pushing, and I'll file for harassment." Cheryl blusters, "It's a community matter." Fine, I say, let's put it to a vote. I'm done playing by their rules. I go home and start gathering everything. Emails, screenshots, the video of them digging, neighbor testimonies, all the little ways they've twisted the HOA. Turns out, lots of people have stories. Fines for pumpkins, for kids' sidewalk chalk, for wind chimes. The next HOA meeting is packed, standing room only. For once, people aren't afraid. I lay out the facts. Footage of them digging the trench, destroying my flowers, trampling wet cement, leaving their own footprints and a rake as trophies. My permit, city letters, my lawyer's voicemail on property rights. Silence. Then applause. Real, honest applause. Jim stands up and says what everyone's thinking. "You've been using the HOA to bully us for years." The board votes. Not only is my cement legal, but Cheryl and Lorna are suspended from any HOA role, pending an audit. New board, new start. The sisters storm out, muttering about mob mentality and ungrateful neighbors. But the spell is broken. I walk home, feeling lighter, but, of course, there's one last trick. A muddy trickle by the path. I follow it. There's a fresh trench behind my yard, running from the Karen's garden. They've redirected their storm water onto my property, hoping erosion will do what the HOA couldn't. I document everything, call the city. Inspector comes, finds them in violation, fines them, orders a cease and desist. But they don't stop. I catch Lorna at night, bottle of vinegar, trying to sabotage the concrete. I hand it all to Melanie, who files a lawsuit for property damage and harassment. The noise draws out the silent majority. Neighbors start coming forward with their own stories. The Karen's empire unravels. A group calls for a special election, and in one night, just like that, the reign is over. Cheryl and Lorna out, new board in. My walkway, now a symbol, is sealed, lit, and even inspires copycats up and down the street. A few weeks later, for sale signs go up at Cheryl's house. Lorna disappears from the Facebook group. The Karen sisters, once untouchable, reduced to a warning. Don't let a thirst for control blind you to the people around you. Community isn't a shortcut. It's something you build step by step together, or else you'll wind up on the wrong side of the cement path, your legacy stamped in stone for everyone to laugh at on their way to the dog park. Funny thing is, I never set out to start a war or to become the guy who stood up to the Karens. I just wanted my garden back. But sometimes you hit your limit, and when you draw that line, you realize you're not alone. People are just waiting for someone to step up. In the end, it wasn't about lawns or shortcuts or even revenge. It was about respect, the only thing that can make a neighborhood feel like home. Now, every time I walk down my path, I smile. Not out of spite, but because the line is there, clear and permanent. I wonder, though, where's the boundary between protecting your space and letting people in? When does standing up become standing alone? Or is it always worth it to draw the line, no matter who's watching? Let me know what you think. Was I right to fight back? Have you ever dealt with a neighbor like that? Or maybe, have you ever been tempted to cut a few corners yourself? Drop your story, your take, your best Karen moment below. This is one shortcut I want to hear about.